it is Craig Reed, who finished 8th yesterday, who will take pole in truck number 68. 46 Bradley Smith alongside. Second row, number 3 Stephen Powell, the local man, and 32 Jock Borthwick, the Scotsman. Row 3, 89 Simon Reed, and alongside him David Jenkins in the 69 truck. Row 4, number 7 Stuart Oliver, winner this morning, and number 1 Ryan Smith, double winner yesterday. He's got to come through from 8th this time. On row 5 it's number 14 John Bowler, number 12 Michael Oliver. Row 6, 86 of Tom O'Rourke. He failed to finish yesterday's race, went off into the gravel and suffered broken steering, unfortunately. Simon Cole missed race 2 yesterday. He starts alongside, as did number 92 Simon Faulkner. He failed to take the restart, so he starts at the back in the 92. That race, of course, was cut short because Ricky Collett suffered a blow-up in his 95 truck. We saw a spectacular blow-up down the Brabham Straight. He has withdrawn from the rest of the weekend, so won't be in this race. Then there's a gap, and we've got the Division 2 trucks. They'll start in reverse order as well. Jim Bennett's number 28 in the set, and Atkinson will be at the front of them. Alongside him, number 22 of Paul Rivette. Then it's Adam Bint, number 5, number 10 Craig Evans, and number 6 John Powell going for his 3rd win of the weekend from the back of the grid. Craig Evans so unlucky in this morning's race. He led Division 2 all the way, and then with a couple of laps to go ran wide at Paddock Hill Bend, went through the gravel, and John Powell went through to take the win. Watching the driver at work in the number 14 machine, John Bowler, his Division 1 debut this weekend. Craig Evans in the MAN. He's at the front of the Division 2 grid. The GT tyres, 3-axle MAN leads them round. Craig Reed on pole, just 1 win in his Division 1 career so far. That was here at Brands Hatch the end of last season. Simon Reed alongside David Jenkins. There's John Bowler, our camera truck. We can see John at work during this race. There's Adam Bint in the Volvo. John Powell at the back of the Division 2 grid this time, going for his 3rd win in a row. Ryan Smith looking for win number 3 of the weekend. Stuart Oliver for his 2nd win. Are we going to see a new winner in Division 1 for this season? I reckon Stephen Powell might have a chance here from the 2nd row of the grid in the number 3. Repaired after that accident with Jock Borthwick yesterday up at Druids. Jim Bennett on pole in Division 2 in his almost classic Seddon Atkinson. Great to have Gentleman Jim and his team back in the championship this year. He's been greatly missed in the paddock. Craig Reed minus his front bumper after a bit of contact in, well, the front valance after a bit of contact in the race earlier on. Race 4 of the weekend then for the British Truck Racing Championship. Bit of steam coming from the water-cooled brakes on Adam Bint's truck. There is the DAF of John Powell at the back. The pace truck is into pit lane. Craig Reed and Bradley Smith on the front of this partially reversed grid. Can one of them hang on to take their first win of the season? 15 minutes of truck racing coming your way here at Brands Hatch in the sunshine on this Easter Sunday. The power comes on and away they rumble down towards Paddock Hill Bend. Good start by Craig Reed, the man from Stoke in the Iveco Stralis. Will lead into paddock for the first time. Good start by Stephen Powell there, just getting a bit of dust kicked up on the inside. They've all made it round paddock for the first time. Let's hope they make it around Druids. Craig Reed has the lead. Stephen Powell making a move up the inside, side by side with his old adversary from yesterday, Jock Borthwick. Simon Reed behind them. They've all made it round, I think. Great stuff. David Jenkins running a bit wide there. We're on board with Craig Evans, giving chase to Simon Cole in the number 41. We're having a few teething troubles with his MAN, known as Eleanor, this weekend. He certainly hasn't gone in 60 seconds just yet, though. Craig Reed has the lead, though. Over the curve, and straight off goes Simon Reed. Goodness me. Straight on he goes, misses the tyre wall. And it's a good job he stopped. They got the truck stopped there and didn't cannon back into the pack on the other side there as they came out of Clark Curves. That would have been disastrous. Somebody else running wide there, Jock Borthwick, kicking up the dust out of Clark Curve there. He's lost some ground. Now, was there contact between Jock Borthwick and Simon Reed? We'll wait and see if we can get a replay of that. Bradley Smith is in 3rd place behind Stephen Powell. Stuart Oliver's up to 4th, and Ryan Smith is 5th. So it's Craig Reed from Stephen Powell. There's Bradley Smith in 3rd place. Let's hope Simon Reed can get going again. That's 89 truck. That was definitely a Code Brown moment there for Simon. Absolutely flying off Tom O'Rourke sideways there in the 86, just ahead of John Bowler. They head down towards Graham Hill Bend for the second time. See if we can see what happened there for Simon Reed. Something broke there. There was no contact. That was either a steering or brake failure. The truck just charged straight on. It was a scary moment indeed for Simon. Just went straight off there. No way he could slow the truck down. And he was very lucky. There was a lot of open space for that truck to come to a halt in. That could have been very nasty. I would imagine that's end of race for Simon. Tom O'Rourke under fire there from John Bowler in the number 14 down the pit straights. Bowler trying to get around the outside. It's still Craig Reed with the lead ahead of Stephen Powell. Stuart Oliver is up into third place ahead of Ryan Smith. Bradley Smith has dropped back in the number 46. Now he's come through only in 11th place overall. Yeah, there he is. So he's had a moment somewhere as well. Jock Borthwick under fire from his fellow Scotsman, Tom O'Rourke. Leading Division 2, meanwhile, is Adam Bint. He's up in 10th place overall, the black Volvo. We've lost Simon Reed. Wait to see if he gets going again. Ryan Smith onto the tail of Stuart Oliver, the two bonneted trucks together. Ahead of David Jenkins. They're chasing down Stephen Powell now for second place in the number 3, the HGV Direct MAN. On board with Craig Evans, back in the Division 2 pack. He's currently showing us 4th in Division 2 with John Powell ahead of him. Coming up on Simon Cole in the Division 1 machine. Simon's still just getting used to his new MAN as Craig Evans goes through. Adam Bint still leads Division 2 ahead of Paul Rivett incidentally, and now Ryan Smith has caught Stuart Oliver. They've got ahead of Stephen Powell coming through Paddock and Druids there, so up into second and third places. Now down to the business of trying to catch Craig Reed for the lead. Craig looking for his second Division 1 victory of his career. He's slightly light in Iveco. Again, he runs wide there, coming out of Surtees into McLaren. That's as wide as his brother went well over the grass. Number 3 and 4th place, Stephen Powell. And then we've got David Jenkins. So the cream rising to the top in Division 1. Next in the order is Michael Oliver Jr. in a good 6th position, his best run of the weekend so far. Here comes David Jenkins up the inside into Paddock Hill Bend, past Stephen Powell, up into 4th place. Now Craig Reed will be able to see these two in his mirrors, Oliver and Smith. Needs to keep a cool head here, try and hold them off for his first win of the season, his second of his Division 1 career, the former Division 2 champion. That was in 2021. There's Michael Oliver, Tom O'Rourke, Jock Borthwick, then John Bowler. And there's Adam Bint, the Division 2 leader, by a fairly clear margin at the moment as well. 5.5 seconds near enough over Paul Rivett. Borthwick makes a move at Surtees, goes past Tom O'Rourke into 7th. That's just Jock Borthwick running in the colours of My Name's Doddy, charity set up by Scottish rugby legend Doddy Weir to raise money for motor neurone disease, to which he very sadly succumbed at the end of last year. And a young supporter, Holly, was touring the circuits with Jock Borthwick and his team, riding her bicycle around the circuits to raise money as well. Tom O'Rourke retaking the place there down the straights, and they've caught the race leader. Craig Reed coming under a bit of pressure now from Stuart Oliver. Ryan Smith dodging about in that 3rd place. They're starting to stack up now behind the Iveco, you can see. David Jenkins is 4th. Stephen Powell hanging on to the lead group in 5th as well. Ryan Smith wants to get past Stuart Oliver here. Oliver defeated him in the first race today, race 3 of the weekend. He's all over the back of the Volvo VNL. Similar looking machine, but Ryan Smith's the Daimler Freightliner, run by Worldwide Truck Racing, based in Nottinghamshire. I'm sure Ryan would dearly love to contest the European Truck Racing Championship as well, which sadly doesn't visit the UK anymore. It all comes down to budgets. Bradley Smith's been into the pits, so he did have a problem. That's a great shame for the man who started on the front row. His fellow front row starter still hanging on to the lead. Now Stuart Oliver looking ready to attack, but he's got to be mindful that Ryan Smith is there as well. Smith dodges to the outside. Stuart Oliver moves to cover. Here comes David Jenkins. Oh, Craig Reed's run wide, coming out of Druids. This is Oliver's opportunity. If he can get up alongside, he'll never go round the outside of Graham Hill Bend, surely. Still side by side. If Oliver keeps his foot in, he could take the lead down the straight. Yes, he's done it. Stuart Oliver leads. Craig Reed moving to cover there, but I don't think he'll stop Ryan Smith getting through at Surtees. No, Smith's going to go through into second place, and Jenkins could get third as well. No, Reed able to defend from Jenkins. He's down to third, and it's Oliver versus Smith for the lead now. Still plenty of time to go in this fourth race of the weekend for the British Truck Racing Championship at Brands Hatch. See how much time there is to go as they come up over the line. Just over 7.5 minutes, so we're coming up towards half distance. And here comes Ryan Smith, here comes David Jenkins up on the outside as well. Ryan Smith is not holding back, he's going for the lead. Round the outside of Stuart Oliver, back to the inside. He's driving that truck like a touring car. David Jenkins to the inside on Craig Reed. He's surely going to go through here for third place at Druids. Yes, he's done it. Achievement to get two cars side by side successfully through Druids, never mind two trucks. Stephen Powell still fifth, Michael Oliver still sixth, and now here comes Ryan Smith. He's going to have a look at Surtees. No, he's not quite close enough that time. 7 laps in the book. Black and white flags being shown to a couple of trucks. The 69 of David Jenkins, number 10 of Craig Evans as well in Division 2. Still Adam Bint who leads Division 2, but Paul Rivette has closed the gap slightly. Now, David Jenkins ran a bit wide there in third place, but the leaders are coming up on Jim Bennett to put a lap on the Seth Atkinson. Bradley Smith back in the pits. Unfortunately, a cloud of steam from his MAN. Looks like some issues there. That's a great shame for the young gun. Ryan Smith up the outside. Now Jim Bennett needs to check his mirrors here. The slower Seth Atkinson about to be lapped, and they've met him not in the best place for them here. They may have to wait until no, they won't have to wait until the straight to pass him. He moves aside, lets him through. Good driving by Gentleman Jim. Stuart Oliver continues to lead. David Jenkins still third. Craig Reed still there in fourth place, the early leader. Stephen Powell rounding out the top 5. A better run from him this time after a tough start to his weekend with that crash in the first race yesterday. Ryan Smith on the tail of Stuart Oliver over the line. David Jenkins, incidentally, has got the fastest lap of the race, 59.773. Here's the Division 2 leader, Adam Bint, looking for win number 2 this weekend. On board with Craig Evans. He's fourth in the division, behind John Powell ahead there in the DAF. Second ahead of them, Paul Rivette, a better run for his MAN, this time the Napa Racing truck. The other Division 2 runner, of course, is Jim Bennett. He's been lapped. I believe Simon Reed is still running as well in truck number 89. He did get going, but he's a lap or two down as Ryan Smith. Oh, he tried a move there by the look of it. He's gone wide at Graham Hill Bend. What happened there? David Jenkins up alongside him. I saw something fly up into the air. Was there contact there between Oliver and Smith? Yes, Smith's still on the wide line. Throws the truck back across in front of David Jenkins. You know these two are deadly rivals. He does not want to let Jenkins by. But he's going to have to through Clark Curve there. Yeah, Jenkins up alongside, he's going to go through. Is there damage to Ryan Smith's truck? It suddenly seems not to be handling as well. Was there contact there with Stuart Oliver we didn't see going into Graham Hill Bend? Try and get a replay of that if we can, hopefully. Whether there was contact, but suddenly Ryan Smith lost pace on that lap. Only a couple of seconds. It's enough to drop him back. He's back up the inside though on David Jenkins into Druids. He goes through. He'll be fired up now, Ryan Smith. Did he just try a lunge at Stuart Oliver and it didn't work and he ran wide? Through the left-hander. Coming towards the closing stages now. Let's have a look again. Ryan Smith was up behind Stuart Oliver coming down to Graham Hill Bend. I think he almost clipped the back of him, but he didn't expect Oliver to go so wide into the corner, and Ryan Smith had to lift off, or maybe he did just clip the back of Stuart Oliver then. Someone into the pit. Oh, is that Craig Reed? It's one of the Reed trucks coming in. Is that Craig or Simon? No, it's Simon. There's Craig. Possible to tell those two Ificos apart from a distance. Meanwhile, Michael Oliver moving into 5th position past Stephen Powell. Possibly Stephen Powell's truck still a bit battered and bruised after his accident yesterday. Michael Oliver was caught up in that. Well, as I say, that Powell retakes the place into Druids. Good scrap between these two. Behind them, Jock Borthwick and Tom O'Rourke. Still leading Division 2 in 10th overall is Adam Bint. See the damage on those two trucks from that wallop into Druids yesterday. Simon Reed has finally brought the Iveco in. He did get going in after that scary moment on the first lap when he went flying across the grass. Now, Ryan Smith has just done new fastest lap of the race, 59.716. Can he get up alongside Stuart Oliver? Over the line they go. There's less than 3 minutes of this race to go now. Simon Cole and John Powell have been given the black and white warning flag for driving standards. There's Adam Bint in that menacing looking black Volvo Aerodyne. With Craig Evans. The Division 2 pack definitely closing up. See there, Paul Rivett is being hunted down by John Powell. Coming up to lap somebody there as well, as Michael Oliver again takes Stephen Powell. On board with John Bowler. John working the wheel. One hand on the wheel, one hand on the gear lever. They throw these trucks around driving with just one hand on the wheel. Incredible. Meanwhile, flying Ryan Smith has got the gap right down on Stuart Oliver. He's having a look on the outside here as they come up over the line this time. What's the gap going to be? There's less than 2 minutes left on the clock now. They get 2 more laps out of this, and now Ryan knows it's time to attack. He goes to the outside into Paddock Hill Bend. David Jenkins watching on in 3rd place. Throws it to the outside again. Trying to confuse Stuart Oliver. Which side is he going to go? Stuart Oliver, immensely experienced. Racing trucks since the 1990s. He's a 10-time champion, one-time European champion as well. Again, right on the rear bumper of the number 7 Volvo there. Ryan Smith is going to try and pull out and go for the lead. This is it as they come down towards Surtees. Oliver squeezes him almost onto the grass. No, you don't, says Stuart Oliver. This is great racing between these two. Where is Ryan Smith going to make his move? They're coming round to start what I think will be their last lap this time. David Jenkins has been able to close up as well. We could be in for a grandstand finish here. Here they come. Smith's lost a little bit of momentum as a result of that. And he was squeezed towards the grass. Yet less than a minute on the clock, so this is the last lap. Into Paddock Hill Bend. Stuart Oliver, the man from Hexham in Northumberland. Ryan Smith from Mansfield in Nottinghamshire. David Jenkins from Stafford. What can Ryan Smith do? Closes up again. This is where he's stronger. So getting up alongside or on the tail is one thing, passing is another. Stuart Oliver, you can see him moving to defend as they come down towards Graham Hill Bend. Is it going to be win number 2 for Stuart Oliver? This would tie the score at 2 wins apiece for the weekend. The decider will be race 5. With Craig Evans over the line and challenging John Powell for a podium place in Division 2. Here they come into the final couple of corners. I don't think Ryan Smith's going to do it. I think he's going to have to settle for 2nd place. Stuart Oliver gets his foot down. Ryan Smith will try and get up alongside. He'll try the outside run, but he's not going to do it. Stuart Oliver takes win number 2 of the weekend. Ryan Smith 2nd, David Jenkins 3rd, covered by less than 1.5 seconds of the line. And well done, Craig Reed, a fine 4th place. Further back, Michael Oliver, his best finish of the season so far in 5th. Stephen Powell in 6th, then Tom O'Rourke, Jock Borthwick and John Bowler. And here comes Adam Bint, the Oxfordshire driver in the older Volvo. Is going to come in to take the win in Division 2. 3.5 seconds clear of Paul Rivett. He's led Division 2 all the way. We're on board with Craig Evans. He chases them home. Bint takes a clear win in Division 2. Paul Rivett gets his best results of the season in 2nd, and John Powell just holds off Craig Evans to take 3rd. They were the last trucks on the lead lap. Behind them, Simon Cole a lap down. Jim Bennett's. Simon Reed should come in as well. Trademark sideways celebration from Adam Bint. Shades of Kurt Goranson, who took so many wins in a Volvo similar to that in the late 80s and early 90s. Just one retirement there. We lost Bradley Smith with the technical problems, sadly. Well, some highlights from that race. It was Craig Reed who led early on. Brother Simon almost went flying A scary moment for the Iveco pilot. Craig Reed then ran wide coming through Druids, and he held the lead for a few laps. That was all the invitation Stuart Oliver needed. Round the outside into Graham Hill Bend to get up alongside, then put his foot down along the Cooper Straight to take the lead. It wasn't long before Ryan Smith and David Jenkins were through as well. Ryan Smith trying his hardest from there on in to chase Stuart Oliver for the lead. Oliver drawing on all his years of experience and guile to hang on in front all the way. Good drive by Stuart Oliver. Ryan Smith got closest through Graham Hill Bend, but had to run wide to avoid the back of Oliver, else it could have taken them both out. And it was Stuart Oliver who went on to victory ahead of Smith and Jenkins, covered by 1.4 seconds at the line. Craig Reed in fourth ahead of Michael Oliver. Good result for him. Good battle with Stephen Powell. Tom O'Rourke seventh, battling fellow Scotsman Jock Borthwick. John Bowler taking ninth, and well done Adam Bint, second win of the weekend in Division 2. Paul Rivette behind him ahead of John Powell and Craig Evans, then Simon Cole and Jim Bennett a lap down, completing the top 15. Simon Reed did get going again after a visit to the pits. He was the only other finisher because Bradley Smith sadly dropped out.